So before we go on, Nick, let's go ahead and open it up to see if anyone has any questions on what we've covered so far.
Excellent. No chat thus far, and let's experiment. Sometimes this is jarring when I unmute everybody, so I apologize.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've unmuted everyone. If you don't mind, if you do have a question, if you will speak up. Otherwise, if you'll mute your phones, we're getting quite a bit of background noise.
I think we're good, John.
Yep, I think so too. So we'll go ahead and move forward.
A minute as I get everybody muted. All right, there we go.
All right, so the next section that we're going to cover has to do with the Thrift Savings Plan. Remember, the Thrift Savings Plan, unlike the pension, which is a defined benefit plan, this is a defined contribution program. And so as a result, some of the requirements in order to access those funds are different than what they would be for the regular CSRS or FERS pension. Sorry about that. For some reason, my mouse is not performing well. Now, the TSP can be divided by a valid court order. Now, the TSP will provide a spouse and attorney upon written request information about the TSP account, such as the participants or beneficiary participants' account balance, the participant's outstanding loan balance, if any, and any annual or quarterly statements. Now, what TSP will not provide is personal information, such as the participant's address, their date of birth, as well as their social security number. Now, request for the account information must be in writing, and it should be directed to the TSP legal processing unit. What it should provide is the participant's or beneficiary participant's name and TSP account number or social security number. Now, the beneficiary participant's account, that would occur if the federal employee had an account that was provided through the death of a former spouse. They identify the individual requesting the information to describe his or her relationship to the participant, describe why the information is needed, and state the purpose for why the information is being requested. So the participants or participant beneficiary, his or her attorney may obtain account balance, the TSP transaction history by submitting a written request. Now, a subpoena is not required by OPM in order to provide that information. So a TSP can be divided by a court decree, divorce, annulment, or legal separation, a court order, such as a court order approved property settlement agreement incident to such a decree, and a court order may be issued at any stage of the divorce, annulment, or legal separation. Now, TSP calls that document a retirement benefits court order. So that differs from the court order acceptable for processing that OPM requires. So some of the basic requirements for the TSP, there's 4 basic requirements. The order has to be issued by a state, territory, or an Indian court. It must specifically name the plan, the Thrift Savings Plans. So ambiguous terms such as all retirement benefits, government benefits, thrift savings, or thrift savings account are not adequate. If the court requires a payment to the TSP account, it must clearly describe the pay's entitlement, and it can only award a specific dollar amount or fraction or percentage of the participant's account on a specific past or current date. So those are the 4 basic requirements that the order must require. So the payments will be made pro rata if the federal employee has both the traditional and the raw TSP from which they have investments. So the balance is based on each fund on the date the payment is made, and it will be from all contributing sources. So that would include employee contributions, the employing agency, or any service contributions. Now, the TSP will pay the money out one of two ways: a U.S. Treasury check paid directly to the payee, or what's more commonly used is an electronic funds transfer to the payee's financial institution.